Hey, Mr. Bees. Good to see you. Hey, Bam Aquatics. Hey, Fancy Tail Guppets. Oh, you're only 10 seconds late. Just started. Got a couple of quick unboxings, but I wanted to check in on the rainbows that came in yesterday. They were packed expertly. No issues with the packing, the shipping. They were overnighted here less than 24 hours. But I'm sure that what happened is the wind got into them, and they were sitting down about 72 degrees in the bag. And the smaller ones, the Wapoga red lasers, were having a little trouble, but they've acclimated well. It's been just a little over 24 hours now, and they're doing great. Yesterday they weren't swimming around a lot, and they were staying in the front of the tank while I filmed them. But you can see they're the ones back there with the reddish on the tails. They're starting to really color up. They look a lot like neon dwarf rainbows. The one that was having trouble yesterday that I was most concerned about is the guy that's kind of hanging back there near the surface. But he does look better. He is eating. Ate this morning. I haven't fed tonight yet. And the other guys, whose name totally escapes me, senior moment, there are 4 of those. I was calling them 3 yesterday, but there are actually 4 of them. And they're a little timid, but they're great eaters. They're about twice the size of the other rainbows. They're the ones with color on them back there, and they literally look like fire in the water. They're looking a lot better than they did yesterday, but they still have a ways to go. Here comes one, if I can get him quick enough. They kind of play the get me on film if you can game with me at this point. They're wanting to be fed. They haven't been fed since this morning, and forgot to ask Dan his feed schedule, but I'm pretty sure he does twice a day, especially when he's growing fish out, and sometimes more, I know. So generally I feed twice a day, unless I hold something back from a regular feeding and give it as a snack during the day. So that's those guys, and they're in there with the Geophagus that I use to cycle the tank. There's one of them back there, and I think they've turned out to be a pair, a male and a female. They sure look like they're going to be. They're still babies, but and they're in there with 5 of the orange laser cories. So they're doing great. They have not spawned yet, but I'm all over that when they do. They're also in there with Goldei Acais, and those little guys are up front. Got a lot of growing to do, and you see they're not shy at all. They're all about it's time to eat. And I've got 15 Siamese algae eaters in there that I absolutely love. They're a lot of company for the other fish, and they do a great job. And I've got a couple of gold nugget plecos in there. So I think that completes the census. Oh no, there's some regular just bristlenose, not just bristlenose, but bristlenose plecos in there. And there's one right behind that terracotta. Hold on, I cull out those, sell them, give them away. Those that look like dark brown bristlenose plecos, the ones that are spotted or speckled or lighter color, I hang on to those and try to breed for that. So there's one that's a little more speckled and got lighter coloration. So anyway, on to what we're really out here to see. Is I've got to get me a low stool. I'm out of breath from bending over there. This is a package of just what it says, and it's been here about an hour. The box was really cold, but on the outside, but it's warmed up. With extremes, I always like to give some time in the house before I actually open the box. So my plan is to open these guys up, see what we've got. I can tell you where they're from. They're from Michael's Fish Room. Yes, you should no later than tomorrow. And again, let me know on that packing. I did it light and tight. And they've got a heating pad sitting above them with some paper layered between them. So I'm hoping that they're going to be doing great. And it's a pair of the plecos that I was just describing, the bristlenose, and they're the lighter patterns, and those actually have like a saddle pattern on their back. I have a tank of those. So anyway, this is from Michael's Fish Room, and you guys know that he does plecos and guppies and periodically changes up what he stocks. And I have several guppies here from him already, and I have guppies that he's entered in contests, the actual guppies that have won first place, second place, that kind of thing. And when he was through breeding them, wanted to sell them. I've got several of his strains of guppies, but what I had not had up until this time were the Tanaka maple leaves. And I'm hoping that their color, I've already broken the seals on this on the sides, hoping that I won't have to struggle too much with the one on the top. And it's still technically an unopened box. I'm trying to find the knife. People usually comment on what they're cutting with, but it's just a steak knife. So, very sharp steak knife. And I'm on top of my big rainbow tank, or my general rainbow tank. So, hopefully this lighting's gonna go well for us. There's also, oops, there's some more tape, but I think our trusty scissors can get into that. I always apologize for my camera work. If you're looking for great camera work, editing, that kind of thing, you know right away you're in the wrong place. And fingers over the lens, so on and so forth. But there is a second fish in here as well, and I'm not going to say what those are right away. This is a great packing job here. These guys have a heat pack down between them, and it's not warm at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that on out. Let's see, we've got Michael's sticker. I've got some of his other stickers. I've never put them on tanks yet, but I'm going to start putting my stickers on tanks, guys. And got his card, and got a promo code here for a sale. We like that. It'll focus on it. And I think his card, no it doesn't, but he has very specific instructions about if there's a problem with the fish or something to contact him right away, do a video, that kind of thing. So, and there's a sample of some guppy food, so we'll be trying that to see how they like it. I'm sure they've been eating it. It's called Cobalt Tetrapellet Guppy with probiotics floating. So, oh yeah, we'll definitely try that out. You did, and it's laying in there on my range, on my kitchen stove, Rick. It's laying right there, so I'll know where it's at. Like I say, I've got to get them all gathered up and get them put on some tanks. Here's some more, a sample of Community Super Cichlid food. I know he got from, this is supercichlids.com, that he got a lot of these samples at an event few months ago, and he's been real good about passing these on. This is the second or third shipping I've got since that, and he always sends those samples, which is nice. You can try out new food and see how you like it without actually buying it. This water feels, I'm going to say it's 65 or 67, and things do not look good. Oh no. We've got 2 dead guppies there. I sure hate that. Yeah, they're dead. But the water is cold. But guppies can, you know, tolerate wider range than some fish. I was going to try to see if they have any color on them. Yeah, they're both belly up, and she looks like she was gravid. Yeah, she definitely was. They're young. They're not full adult, I don't think. Well, that sucks. Sorry, I'm looking at them and you can't see them. Yeah, that's the thing, Brandon. They have to be conditioned, and I know he keeps his pretty toasty down there in his basement fish room. Yeah, it is. So it raises more concern for the other fish. So let me lay those guys aside there. The others are plecos, and they're the lemon blue-eyed, and I think I got 4 of those guys. So I do see some movement. I think they're all, nope, no movement. They're just, wow. Now, of course, they roll so you can't see them. Maybe there. There might be one that's alive. This bag is cold, cold, cold. Yeah, you can see, sorry, 3 are belly up. The 2 to the right and the 1 at the bottom are belly up. And I sure hate that because these are expensive fish. I'm wondering if that heat pack activated. It was wedged down between 2 bags tightly. Yeah, he will, Mr. Bees. He owes me 3 Super Red short fins from a couple months ago that came in dead, and they had been dead. I think they probably died the first day he packed them, but they had fungus on them and all that, and so he saw the video. So yeah, it is. I'm going to just see what the temperature is in these bags, and I'll let him know. But yeah, I said it felt like it was like 65. Those I unpacked last night were at 62, and incredibly they made it. It's just cold out. And that one's a couple of tenths of a degree warmer, I think, so 65 for all intents and purposes. So boy, I sure would like that one that's not belly up to be alive, but there's absolutely no movement at all. So I'm going to try to get him over here, and these guys, I was on my way home when they were left on the porch, so they weren't like outside any length of time, maybe 10 minutes from the time I got the video to the time, you know, that I drove up and got them off the porch. So I was trying to put this on here so you guys could see it, but just do this. Yeah, it sucks because I have tanks set up to quarantine them and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to lay this down just a second. A nice view of a sponge filter there. A dirty sponge filter. I think the snails are even dead. It appears they are. Okay. So here we are. That's the one that I'm maybe holding out false hope, but Maybe it was this one. I think they're all 4 dead though. The snails are dead too, so. Wow. Well, that really sucks. The whole order's dead. I don't know. That guy there was trying to breathe, but maybe not. My vision is so bad. Let's get in here. Let's get in here. Where are you? No, it's just the water kind of sloshing back and forth. So, wow. Whew, it's cold. I'll let these guys sit out and warm up to room temperature for a couple hours, but yeah, I think not breathing is pretty indicative. Yeah, they're a nice size too. They were 1.5 inches. So, and those guys are still on their back. So, well, sorry guys. Have one more bag or box to open, and I am not sure. I'm looking for my knife. If I have anything alive in it other than plants, so I don't want to hold any suspense there that for nothing special. But this is a place. Let me show the shipping label here. Sorry. And I'm pretty sure, Rick, that it was Liz in a live stream. When you were doing the live stream with her, you two guys were doing it, and I was modding. But anyway, she mentioned Bama Plants. I'm pretty sure it was her. And of course, I like to check out things that other fish YouTubers share. And that really hid my address well, didn't it? I'm still waiting on that candy. Pam promised me candy from yesterday's address. But anyway, I went on, and they're sold out of some things, but overall I found it to be a really good site with great prices, a lot of okay, I'm going to lay it down, sorry, so that we can go ahead and get this done. I could have done the seals on it as well. So again, this is inexperience. However, I do see people that have 100,000 subscribers do similar things, so my excuse is that I'm not experienced with unboxing and holding a camera. And I do have a little tripod that I normally use to help me with unboxings, but I can't use it right now because I have 2 quarantine tanks set up there for these fish. So let's see. I'm pretty sure I got some snails too. Just not really sure what all I got in this order. I just kind of got on that side and saw things that I wanted and couldn't find some anywhere else, and so that's what we've got. There's the heat pack that is warm. Not hot, but it's warm. A lot of panther in there. Sorry. Camera's telling me to rotate, you think? Sorry for whiplash. Anybody got there? Yep. There are some albino mystery snails and some ivory mystery snails. Okay. It's all coming back to me now. And again, their prices are super great on these guys. Looks like I've got 4 or 5 of each, and they are moving around, so I'm optimistic that they're going to be okay. Oop, I don't want to put them in that fish water with the plecos. What else? What else? I think that's the only thing I have that's an animal. Oh yeah, these guys. This packing, by the way, and the labeling and all that is great. So this is pygmy hair sword, I think. Pygmy something sword, I can't remember. Yeah, I thought about that, Craig, too, but I try to be careful what I say. And they had time to be fasted because he held off a week. He didn't want to send them last week because of the weather. So I don't know. But also the guppies had plenty of water, and they were same condition, at 62. Or 65. I think that's what we had. 62 was yesterday. This is variegated 4-leaf clover, and that stuff is absolutely gorgeous. And again, I'm not being discounted or paid or anything by this company, but this is my first order from them, and they'll definitely be getting other business from me. I remember there were a couple things that were out of stock, and it gave me the option to order those when they came in, but I've looked everywhere for not just the 4-leaf clover, but the variegated. So thrilled to have that. Sorry. Oh yeah. I'm going to be doing some more planting in some new tanks. So this is a cranium. This guy or gal's writing's almost as bad as mine. Not quite, because I can make out the cranium, but I'll have to look it up. But that actually came in as good or better. The others I have are not even half the size, and I paid $10 for them, and I think this was $7 or $8. And this stuff, I see a few of you guys have this, but these are the red root floaters, I believe. Salvinia, Mimia, I guess. But I love the texture and the color on that stuff. So, I think I'm just about... Whoa, sorry, I'm trying to save all this packing. It's the fluffy, like wrap packing stuff. This may just be... Alright, so yeah, that's all of it. That's all of it, guys. So we turned a quick unboxing video to a 24-minute video. I started to do a live stream, guys, this morning. I had the drapes open and the sun was streaming in, and these guys were just going crazy over bloodworms and spirulina with shrimp, and they're ready to eat now. Yeah, I've received stuff, and like the stuff I received yesterday, you see not much has changed in Chihuahua land here. The pillows have been thrown different places, and yeah, that is one of the dog's little bed over there. Yeah, I know, Craig. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the water, but, hopefully I know Michael will make it right, so I'm not concerned about that at all. Not at all. Rick, you were asking me about my, not my Lemmias, but my Scythias, and that was the male, the largest one I had, and he was not acting right this morning. There was really nothing I could treat. I put him in here before I went out this afternoon, and you see he's fins up, so not sure. Everything else in here is doing great. No one's got any symptoms. Everything's looking good, and yes, I do want this to be an eclectic special live bearer tank. The only exception to that is I've got a couple or three little tiny pea puffers, a couple of Synodontis. They're the kind that stay like 4 inches. And I've got, there's another one back there. See his tail waving down there. And I've got a couple of bettas that I rescued in here. And one is a crown tail. And he's loving life. He came from Walmart in one of those cups. It was nasty. What are the red and whites, Craig? Those are, I think they're called Kamaka. If anybody knows for sure, verify that. But they're called Kamaka swordtails, or the slang name is Santa Claus swords. And they're albino, see their eyes are red. And the males are a little older than the female. I bought like 8 of them from one of my local fish stores, and all the females died. So I had 2 or 3 males left. Yeah, they're gorgeous fish and they're really sweet. Of course, the red ones are the vampire swords. And I think I've got 4 of those guys in there, 2 males and 2 females. But anyway, I had to go back somewhere else or order them. I'm not sure where I got. There's a young male there. They get big and then they get their tails. But my females are all gravid now. They were pretty small when I put them in here. So I should have some swords soon, and they have plenty of place to hide here. I have a thing for mollies, so you see some of the, I don't know what they're calling them, lemon drop or something, mollies. They're lyre tail. I prefer the regular tails, but in that color, that's all I could get. And that's my favorite molly right now, just a regular sailfin, local fish store guy. And he has a female in there that had babies not long ago, and they're scattered throughout this stuff. They're just a week or so old. So I wanted to show you my little female beta, and I want some of the beta people, there may not be any in here, but I want to get some of the beta people to come and look at her. She was sold to me at, got her at Petco. I don't remember what I was there. Oh, buying some foods that I can get locally cheaper than having them shipped. Ah, well, what kind are they, Craig? This is a 39 gallon. And there's lots of room in there. Soon to be more when I pull that guy out in that breeder box. Got Lemias in here. There she goes. She's the cutest thing. And I don't have anything against betas. I just, they're not, in my top 5 fish, I guess. So, but periodically I will have a beta, but I do like to let them swim in a tank. So, don't like the little bowl. That's not for me. Well, she escaped, but she's a little coy, and she was sold as a baby female. You know how Petco ages them and all that. Let's see what we've got. I got an upside down catfish. And those guys, I wasn't accustomed to that. The first couple of times I saw that, it scared me. They love to float around on their backs. I'm trying to get the little beta. Anyway, she's got 5 colors, and if she sees me, she'll come over, because she's a little pig. There she comes. Maybe. Just darling. She's got like 5 colors on her, and of course I had to have her. I keep thinking she sees me, but maybe she doesn't. She always comes over. She's well trained about feeding. Just mainly want to get her on here. I'm sorry, guys, for anybody that is an expert with betas or knows. That would be anybody that knows more about them than I do. So, yeah, she's got black, she's got dark blue, light blue, white, red, orange, and she's real small, real small. Maybe that's enough footage for somebody to look at her and look at that face. Ah, like a baby seal. All right, guys. Thank you for coming in. Sorry for the disappointment with the fish, and I know Michael will be disappointed too. And he was right to hold them week before last. This week, I don't know what happened, unless the heating pack didn't warm up. I know the kind that I have, it says, not to let them touch, the plastic and that kind of thing. So, oh, and I don't know, Mr. Bees, if you noticed that you've got a blue wrench there, and I just did that because you were trying to post links for me a couple of live streams ago, and you said, oh, you didn't have a wrench. So if that's all right with you, you've got one now, and if not, I'll take it back away, but haven't had a need for any mod. So thank you, appreciated it. Wow, we're over 30 minutes. Oh, I'm honored to have your help. All of you guys, everybody's been so helpful. And Craig, if you want to talk sometimes about doing videos and stuff, that's fine. You see, I do a lot of live streams. I don't do any editing. I can now pause videos and restart them. I just use my smartphone, but I had to get an app since the iPhones, you can't pause. But and a lot of the big channels are getting away from the editing and spending hours and hours, and some still do it, of course, and always will. But like Lucas Brett, you see Lucas, I don't know that he's done a film in weeks, maybe one or two, but he likes to live stream, and it saves a ton of time, and it's raw and live, and it's a lot of fun. The big channels. Anyway, I'm kind of doing what my skill level allows, and I'm fighting learning how to edit and that kind of thing. I don't even have an intro, of course, or an outro, or and I'm going to be getting me a whatever, not an emblem, but yeah. Well, Rick, you make it look easy, and you're not big though. You're bigger than me. Bigger than me. But yeah, Alex over at The Secret History in Your Aquarium does artwork. He did Lucas's shirts and things that he's using now. So I love his artwork, and I'm not on his Facebook page. But anyway, not his Facebook page. Yeah, it is his Facebook and his YouTube. Sorry. Yeah, I had to remember. But he's going to be doing some, oh gosh, senior night. Not decals, but, emblems or whatever for people. What would go on your card. So you'll be live tomorrow. Oh, you will? I know last week you weren't because of the holiday. Thanks, Don. Always glad to see you here. You're always so positive and optimistic and supportive, and I'm always open to suggestions and comments too. I don't see most of them because I'm on the cell phone, but logo. Thank you, Rick. So I'm going to get with Alex on that soon. Have no clue, which doesn't help him at all, what I want to do. I've got my Rhino Plico as a photo now, but yeah, I'll see you tomorrow evening too, Rick, and maybe you'll have some little Plicos to show. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. We're right at 35 minutes. I'm off on every night since I retired, so it really lets me enjoy the hobby more. Thank you. Mr. Bees, is your name Brandon? Or if you'd rather not me ask you that. I'm trying to get these, the people that I interact with down their names. Okay, I thought it was Brandon, but I knew Maple Street was, so I thought, probably your old mind, you're getting them mixed up. So, yeah, I don't either. Bob Kaler's Fish Hobby, so. Okay, well, thank you for modding, and thank you guys for hanging out and for chatting, and I thought you did. It's hard to remember. I'm sub to about 200 people, too, so I'm growing, so there are lots of good channels to follow out there, so. All right, guys, this time I really am getting off here. And as I say that, there's my latest. I was saving for another video, but I actually picked up a knife fish. And he's in the pot, but I liked it, he or she, I liked the fish so much that I went back and got a second one, and he's down underneath there, and I'm training them. I've read about how to get them to stay out when the lights are on, and they're doing great. They're just a really cool fish to watch. And I've got a long time till these guys get to be a foot long, so they saw me, I guess, and hid. But anyway, I'll do. I'm going to start doing some species profiles, but I'm going to do it a little different way than we've been seeing them done. Not sure how I'm going to set it up or how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to knock. There's one of the puppies' pee pads over there, and they're real good. My Chihuahuas, without going on a pad. I don't make them go out when it's cold like this, just to poop. So, but yeah, I'm going to let viewers or people that participate in live streams actually do the profile. I mean, we have experts watching these species profiles all the time, and a lot of times many of them know a lot more than I know about fish, or the fish I'm keeping, or the fish that's being profiled. And that's what you really need, is participation in the video. It's a good way to get people to look. So that's a great way to cut off somebody that's rambling, Brandon. Thank you. We need it. Y'all have a good evening and stay warm. Thanks.